Hi, I am your friend Avinash, and today's video topic is Angular components. An Angular is the framework used for the front end. An Angular components is a fundamental building blocks of an Angular application responsible for defining the user interface and behavior for specific part of the application. Uh, Components are reusable and encapsulates the data, logic, and uh, presentation needed to render a specific part of UI. They help they help to uh, organize the application into smaller, self-contained and reusable pieces, making the code easier to manage and maintain. Angular components are part of component component based architecture, which is based on the concept of composition. Each component has its own template, class and metadata that work together to create the designed functionality and appearances. These three parts are described as below. First one is template. Template is an HTML file that defines the structure and layout of the components view. It contains the element, data binding, and directives that determines what gets displayed on screen. Angular uses a special syntax in the template to enable dynamic rendering of data and handle user interactions. Second one is the class. The class is a TypeScript file that contains the components logic and data. It acts as the component's controller and is responsible for processing the data, handling user interactions, and responding to events. The class is associated with the template through the data binding, allowing the components to dynamically update the view based on changes in its properties and methods. And third one is the metadata. The metadata is defined using a decorator in TypeScript, usually referred to as the @component decorator. It provides essential information about the components, such as its selector. Selector means the name used to represent the component in HTML, style URLs, and template URLs. The metadata serves as a configuration for the component. Thank you. That's all about Angular components.